I'm Milton from Team Flex, and today we're going to look at the overall winner class A for Fit Model from the NPC Charlotte Cup. So this again will be the class where we are reviewing Fit Model, the overall winners class, and we're going to talk about this criteria, the placings, why they landed the way they did, what it means for you if you are trying to get your foot in the new Fit Model division, or thinking of it, or trying to decide if you want to do it, or you just like watching it. Well, that's what I do here. So subscribe, hang out, lots more coming. So Class A is what we're going to look at first here, and this is our Class A overall winner, Lindsay. Okay, so she wins against every other Fit Model class. Here is the overall. We're going to talk a lot about that. We got Kaylin over here, and we got third in this class, Leslie. So this is our class right here so far. We'll review any others that are in there as we go. So, interestingly enough, Fit Model, continues to unfold very interestingly event to event. What we see here is a little bit more muscle in the upper body than we've seen on some, but again, still not very much compared to like bikini, right? So Fit Model is basically that throwback division to 10 years ago, bikini or so, where you want to be at about that level, which, I was coaching at that time. Even if you were paying attention to it, you would have seen, a lot of variance in physiques there. Well, we still see variance in physiques now in what's today Fit Model, especially because it's a new division. Lindsay seems to have a little bit more muscle in the shoulders and the upper body overall than some of the other winners we've seen, but it's still not overdone. Still just showcases that, little bit of that development. That's really what judges are looking for. Taper into the waist is key here in this division. You want to make sure you have that taper. It's got to be happening. You're going to get that from the shoulders coupled with having a narrow waist. So whatever you can do to shrink in that waist is going to be key for you. What you want to look at lower body, especially in this, front pose, is primarily actually going to be focused on the quads because of this pose. And that's really what judges are going to see. Maybe they'll get a little bit of a glute, a shelf from this angle, but not everybody's even posing that way. So it's not really a huge focus in the judging. Really what judges want to see is that your shoulders, taper in to the waist, and then your lower body development, mainly the quads, is going to match and balance. So Lindsay really has super good balance either way. And that's, again, probably how she wins this class, goes on to win that overall. Let's look at Kaylin. So Kaylin's very on par with this criteria for sure. Not a ton of shoulder development. Does taper into the waist very well. Comes down to the lower body. For her, not as much of a quad shape going on, right? So this is something that's going on with the Fit Model pose that a lot of people are missing. When you do this Fit Model pose, it does narrow out your quads. Like your quads are going to lengthen. So when they lengthen, that pose makes your legs look real lean, makes them look tinier, meaning, right? So you want to make sure you're posing in a way that's going to showcase fullness. Otherwise, it can showcase maybe you don't have enough fullness, and that's not going to be the key because you still need to have muscle and Fit Model. You still need to have that. Just got to be within the criteria. So Kaylin gets second in this class. Very good, on par with what this division is looking for. But that may be a factor. Maybe a little bit more muscle lower body could change the thing for her. Looking over here at Lindsay, pretty on par upper body wise with what you would want to see. Tapers in at the waist, lower body, definitely some development down here. Posing, I would suggest, tweaks with that. We're going to see a lot of changes in posing as Fit Model rolls out, plays out. But overall, too, conditioning may be just a tad softer. We're going to have to see when we get to the back because, everything from the front is all speculation. When you go to the back, it always tells the full story. So again, class winner Lindsay in the middle, a little bit of that shoulder shape from the back, what you want to see. She's honestly getting a little bit more than we've seen with a lot of Fit Model winners. But that's all right because every event, it can go that way. Wild, wild west of Fit Model, ladies. I've been telling you, if you've been out here trying to figure this out, don't even look at things and, try to guess. Just bring your best, go to stage, get your own feedback. That's going to help. Looking lower body wise, everything tapers in here. Good. Glute structure and shape, I would say that it's pretty on par with this division. She is starting to show maybe just a tad bit of that tie-in, so a little more muscle in general in her legs and her lower body. The balance, from her glutes to her quads and her hamstrings, seems like her glutes may be just a little bit under that development. However, she wins that class. She wins the overall. To continue to advance, though, those are the things I would consider to focus on. Kaylin over here, not as much of that shoulder shape from the back here. Pretty much on par with Fit Model division, though. That makes sense. Lower body-wise, we're not getting as much of that muscle effect. So not as much muscle from the glutes. you know, or the quads really even in this angle. So that's probably, again, she was just a little bit under muscled in the lower body to match. Maybe a little bit more development would have been the key factor here in this class. Looking over at Leslie, her lower body is definitely a little bit softer in general than her upper, and it does appear to be a bit more dominant in the muscle department. So she has a little bit more muscle in the lower body here, in the glutes and the hamstrings, quads. That's going to be a factor because it doesn't really necessarily match up top as well, and it doesn't tie in the same. So again, the balance factor in Fit Model, very, very key. Also, your conditioning, you really got to nail it. You don't want to be too hard. You don't want to be too soft. So let's look now at our 4th place in this group, Chelsea. She's the only one coming into the group as an add-on here. And basically what we can see here, she's got a little bit more of a depleted look from the shoulders. Definitely leaner in a lot of ways, and ties into the waist here, lower body. This is just overall a very different look for a pose. So you know, posing tweaks in this division become more and more prominent, especially at a lot of these levels. Looking from the back, it does not have the same effect of development from the glutes and overall just that shape. We can see a little bit of that shoulder shape here, tapers in well, but definitely appears to be, you know, from the back, needing a little bit more symmetry, a little bit more development, maybe even just a tad tighter conditioning, right? So a lot of differences going on the Fit Model stage right now, and a lot of different groups, you know, with the class where you're going to go. But I do want to show you this, okay? We'll talk about it in one sec. I do want to show you the actual Fit Model versus bikini, because I know a lot of people are on the fence. A lot of you watching are probably on the fence if you want to be doing you know, Fit Model or bikini, which one you want to do? Well, I have both from the same event for you, just for you. If you watch this long, you're the only people seeing it. So thanks for watching, hanging out. Let's take a look. So I did a full video on Tilly over there for the overall and everything for bikini. If you didn't watch that yet, watch that one. But here they are side by side. So very different looks. These are not comparable looks, right? It's, again, a lot of people are like, oh, bikini, there's no difference. Not really. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. So definitely bikini has a lot more just, you know, muscle and a streamlined shape look as far as everything goes. A lot more size in her shoulders. A lot more of a taper that's dramatic into the waist due to the conditioning. A lot more of the development in the lower body, the glutes and the quads and everything there. Fit Model has all those things, but it's lesser. It's lesser. That's the whole point. It's lesser. It's lesser of that muscle. It's lesser of that development. It's lesser of that shape. It's lesser of the condition. So, you know, if you're looking at these divisions trying to figure out where you want to go, when you start putting them side by side, it makes a lot of sense, right? It makes a lot of sense to say, which of these physiques do you prefer, right? Because you get to work at different capacities to attain these different looks, and that's overall where things are going to head. So I don't know, side by side, to me, there's no comparison, but I know I have coach's eye and everything. Let's look from the back. Again, very clear differences, right? Very clear differences. It's funny too, because if you watch video to video, bikini to Fit Model, you may not even connect those dots in your head. When you look at them right here, very clear differences, right? So a lot more muscle for this bikini overall winner. A lot more in the glutes and the quads and the tie-in, and not the same effect going on for Lindsay, the Fit Model overall winner. Still gets a little bit of shoulder, still tapers in, but not as much of anything else going on. So, you know, you got to decide which look you like. I know that I'm coaching Fit Model competitors, I'm coaching bikini competitors, I'm coaching all types of competitors here. And there's some women that love the Fit Model look and they don't want this bikini look. And there's some women that love the bikini look and they don't want this Fit Model look. You got to know where you line up. You got to know what you're doing. And you know what's the best part? You can do both. If you're a new competitor and you're trying to get your foot and you don't know what to do, you can't do both at the same event. You can't do them at the same exact show. But you can do show to show different, you know, competitions. So you could do Fit Model one weekend, next weekend go hop into bikini, vice versa, right? You can do whatever you want. Best thing you can do right now if you're considering Fit Model is go compete, okay? Because it's the Wild West. It's crazy. The judging, you know, everything is a little bit, winners are looking different everywhere. It's just the way it goes with a new division. So if you want to compete, you want to see where you stand, Best way to do that, guess what? Get on stage, see where you stand. Get feedback, get ideas for yourself, get better direction for where you want to head, what you want to do. If you need help figuring out what division you want to be in, check out my free trial. I can tell you. I can look at, pictures, I can look at competition photos, I can look at anything. This is a 7-day free trial where you get to work with me one-on-one. I can work with you as your coach, show you how to train, show you what to focus on, give you areas of improvement, timeline to make those, whatever it is. I can do it all 7 days free for you. So check that out if you haven't yet. It's really an awesome experience. People love it. Thank you for watching. Coach Ryan is out.